Well, we'll talk about when we record.
All right, recording is on.
Okay, welcome to our second of 4 coach calls. So your new coach training mentorship, this is coach call number 2 of 4. If you missed last week, we kind of laid the ground rules. We talked about mindset, we talked about goals, and what we want to accomplish in this first month between now and the end of October in your coach business so that you're set up, you feel confident, and you're having fun in the business, which by far is the most important part. If you're not having fun doing this, it gets real old real fast. So you've got to really dive into the fun and exciting parts of it. But today we're going to talk about the actionable steps, the brass tactics. What are you doing when you are in your work time as a coach? So these first couple of weeks, we've just been purely focused on reaching out to people you already know, like, and trust. It may have nothing to do with anybody on your social media. Maybe you're going through your friends list on social media to old college friends, high school friends, coworkers, friends of family, all of those kind of people. You should still be reaching out to those people that already know you. They already have a relationship with you in some way. Those are the people that you're inviting into our challenge groups, both for the one that starts on Monday the 12th, and then continue inviting for the one that starts in November, because it takes time for people to get excited, to say yes, to go through the process. So don't feel like you can't continue to invite if you didn't get people signed up by yesterday, which was kind of our hopefully goal to end those invites. But we have to continue moving our business forward, both now and forever and ever, amen. So this is what we call a power hour. This is actionable things that you're going to do in your business every single day. Some days it may look like this, where you sit down and you do it in a focused hour block. That is definitely the goal, because once you can get into the working zone, it's easier to stay in the working zone. However, you may have to break this up into 10-minute pockets throughout your day. You may do 10 minutes on the floor while you're drinking Energize and you're about to start your workout. Or maybe the 10 minutes after your workout, you're stretching and you're on your phone doing a piece of this that we're going to go over today. Maybe you do some in the morning, you get up before work. For Raquel and I, we started this business both with full-time jobs and small babies. So we would get up on a Zoom just like this every morning at 5 a.m. before we got the kids up, before we went to work and all the things. And that's when we would do our power hour. We would also sometimes try to do it during our lunch break at work, or if we weren't able to get it done, then that meant we had to stay up after the babies into bed, and we would do it on the couch. You can plug this into your day whenever, however. The goal is just that you've got to get it done. You've got to make it an automated habit that no matter what happens in your day, you're going to get this done, because it will help you move your business forward. We're going to put in the message pod, and then we'll also pop up here on the screen our power hour flow, because it just helps to remind you what you're doing, and it just gets you in the rhythm of how you're working your business. But this is something that you can look at. It's called a Beachbody tracker. It's a Success Club. So Success Club System Daily Tracker is the title of it. It is in our Team VIP, our big Facebook. It is in the unit section. We will also send it to you in our coach message pod. But what we're doing on this power hour flow is section 2 and 3, which is basically working the foundations of your business and continually moving your business forward. Because if you're just doing the things to get by, you've got to constantly be planting seeds for your future customers, for your future coaches. And that's what we're going to work on here. So we're going to dive right into this. We're going to explain as we go, but this is meant to be a working power hour. So we're going to talk about it, explain it, and then we're going to give you a little bit of time to do it. You won't have as much time today because we're learning, but this is just a practice session, just to kind of get our feet wet and dive in. So have your phone with you, and we're going to rock and roll.
All right, so as you can see on the screen, this is our power hour flow. We'll send you this. I just keep this as a photo in my phone just to help me as I'm moving forward. You can create albums on your phone. I have one called Beachbody that helps keep it all organized and the same. Okay. So first things first, what I'd like to do is if you're a working mom, or you are, just at work on your lunch break and you're like, I have a little bit of time to work, really want you to center yourself before you sit down. Because for me, like, I just did some virtual school. I've been running all around trying to get up here, and I have to take a minute to be like, okay, let me get focused on what I'm doing and why. Last week we talked about really getting clear on what's the vision, right? If money, time were no issue, what is the vision for this business? Why are you showing up here to commit to working it? So this is a great time when I'm sitting down, is to look at that vision. If you haven't written it out of what you want to achieve, write it out. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be a note on your phone. It can be handwritten. Some of us like to make vision boards. I love a good vision board. I don't know if you can see back here, That's kind of like my vision board, bulletin board, affirmations, all the things. I have it where I can see it. So before I sit down to work, I take time to either read my vision, say or speak my affirmations to really get myself in the zone. That's something that works for me. For other people on our team, that includes chugging some Energize, putting on some pump up music, doing essential oils, whatever you can do to get you in a good energy headspace where you're excited to sit down and work. I know it seems hokey. I know it's like, okay, really, do I need to do that? But I'm telling you from experience, getting yourself in the right mindset, the right energy makes all the difference in the world. Okay. So for time's sake today, I won't take you through a whole lot, but I just want you to know I have my vision. I've said my affirmations. I'm excited to sit down and work. And I always tell myself, I'm a spiritual faith person. And I would say, God, use me today. Help me to show up in a positive way. And the people that need what I have to offer, because I know what I have to offer is life changing, that I will be able to show up for them today. Use me, lead me, guide me, and let's go. And that's kind of just something that I tell myself. Again, you can find what works for you. Okay. So that's the first 2 to 5 minutes that we like to start our Power Hour flow with. Jess, you want to take it to the next 10?
No, I do not. Just kidding. So the next piece is just kind of jumping in, being social on social media. So as you know, we've talked about this in our sneak peek. We talked about in our mentorships endlessly. We never want you to feel like a salesy, icky, weirdy network marketing spam person, because there are definitely people out there. There's people like that in every sales industry that ever exist on and off social media. We don't want to be those people. We want to be genuine and authentic people. So the first piece of our Power Hour is just kind of getting the wheels going, getting those feelers out, because I think a lot of times we stop ourselves before the start because we get nervous. We're scared to talk to people. We don't want to bother people. All of those things are running through our head. So being social on social media is just putting value and positivity and joy out into social media networks, on people's news feeds, on their profile pictures, on the content that they're posting, on the stories that they're posting. You're just going in and adding value with no expectation of anything in return. You are not going and commenting on someone's photo saying, oh my gosh, I love your top so much. And you're thinking, I hope they sign up to be a client. You don't want to go in with that mindset. You just want to go in and say, you know what? There's enough chaos. There's enough nonsense in the world. I just want to add joy to social media. So if you see somebody doing something fabulous, go and DM them and give them a compliment, whether it's on what they're wearing, how they're speaking, what they're talking about, what they posted about. Go in and give them a compliment, or go in and ask a question and engage in a conversation. Say, hey, I loved what you were sharing yesterday. What book is it that you were talking about? Or, hey, I love the outfit that you had your little in yesterday. We are about to do family photos. Where did you find that? Anything that can generate a genuine conversation is perfect. So if you're leaving a comment on someone's photo, you want to leave 5 words or more. So not like super cute, great job, like an actual engaging comment. Same thing with a message. Send a message that has a question, so it gives them a reason to respond back to you. So take interest in other people and then engage in a conversation and ask a question that leads them back to you. Or simple things like jumping in on your Facebook. This is how I started 100 years ago, and I swear this still works. Just going and saying happy birthday. Go to your birthday messages for the day and just say happy birthday. Nothing weird, nothing long, just happy birthday. I hope you have the best day. Nothing like, oh my God, don't be weird. Don't, hey girl, no, just happy birthday. I hope you have an awesome day. Be genuine. That stuff really does work because it puts you on their radar. And it's not weird, because if it's weird for you to say happy birthday, they shouldn't be your friend on Facebook. That's weird. So just go in and be genuine and give those birthday messages. And then interact. If maybe you're in a mom's group on Facebook, or you're in a Harry Potter's R Us group on Facebook, go in and interact in those pages, because those people are like-minded to you. I know you Harry Potter people are out there. I know nothing about it, never read a book, never seen a movie, but I do know that another Harry Potter person will spot a fellow Harry Potter person and they will connect on a different level. So whatever is your connection, whether it's Harry Potter or it's knitting or it's wine club, whatever it is, go into those spaces on social media, go into those groups on social media and add value. Give feedback and give suggestions where you have expertise. Give feedback where you can, give positivity where you can. So just spending 10 minutes doing this every day kind of dust off the wheels, gets the brain working, and gets some positive energy flowing out. So take just about 5 minutes to do that now. just as a practice, and then we'll move on from there. And also, I didn't mention this, but whenever you're doing these pieces and you're in your power hour, you may have just a Facebook account, or maybe you have just an Instagram, or maybe you have both. When I started, I only had Facebook. I did not have Instagram at all. So I was doing all of this on Facebook. Now I have an Instagram and a Facebook, but I feel like it can get you can lose time if you're bouncing back and forth. So I suggest kind of alternating your days, or finding what works best for you. Or if you feel like you're stronger, you have a stronger presence on one platform, really focus on that for the first 3 to 6 months. And then let's kind of see where the business is, see how you're feeling, just so you don't get too distracted or feel like you're spread too thin.
All right. So hopefully, again, the job is just to be social on social media, spread some light. And now the next part is I think part of our job, this sounds silly, but I think that what we are is professional friend makers. Again, it sounds a little cheesy, but I have met some incredible people who I now consider to be some of my very close friends that there's no way I would have met them otherwise. Can you hear my husband making Shakeology right now? It's like so loud. He's making one for my daughter, and he's not going to get it right because he doesn't do the recipe right, but that's okay. He's drinking Shakeology, so I'll take it. All right. So what I want you to do is taking 10 minutes to expand markets. We just told you right now as a brand new coach, your first people that you work with most likely are going to be people that you know, right? That for me, I think I had 4 people in my first group, and they were all people close to me, my friends, my aunt, my mom, coworkers. And we definitely want you to start there. But with the future in mind, it's good right now to start expanding your market. We just told you we're never going to be the hey girls sending out random cold messages. I want to create genuine relationships with people that I would love to actually connect with in real life. And eventually, I would love to work with them, whether they be a customer in my group or a coach on my team. So that's what we want to focus on now. So, a few ways to do this. Again, this is probably the part where I'm going to talk the most. I'm going to start with Facebook first. When I started this business, did not have an Instagram. 99% of my business was built on Facebook. So how did this work? I started expanding my network through groups that I was in. So if I wasn't in a group, I became in a group. One of the groups that I'm in right now is South Austin Moms, where it's women in this local area who are moms. I'm also in a mom of twin boys group. Just interest groups like you, join them and then be an engaged member. So for instance, in the twin moms boys group, if somebody has a question about potty training their boys, I can go in and engage on that because I have a lot of experience with potty training twin boys. So I make a job to engage and go from there. And usually what ends up happening is that person, if I leave a good comment, they're going to kind of come check me out. I can send her a friend request, and then it's not weird because we've met each other, right? We've met each other. I've given you value. I've hopefully helped you. It's a little bit easier from there. That's one way to do it on Facebook. Another way to do it on Facebook is expanding your market through people you already know. One way I did this is through my husband's account. Now he's not very active on Facebook, so that wasn't super helpful, but I went through my husband's friends list. And if he had friends that were women who were most likely in my season of life, moms in my age group, I would send a friend request. It's not weird because then they can see, oh, we have mutual friends with Ryan McAfee, that's his wife. Not weird. I've actually had a lot of customers that have been my husband's friends from like high school, college, hometown that I've met through expanding my market that way. Same thing on Facebook. I have a couple girlfriends that I went to college with, that I was in a sorority with. A lot of them live in Houston, Dallas area. I have one friend who's like super social, has all the friends in the world. I would go to her Facebook and see who are her friends, who is again in the same season of life as me and her. So she's a mom of 3, she has young kids just like me. I would look through her friends list. Is there anyone that looks like somebody I would genuinely want to go to brunch with? If so, I would send a friend request. It's not weird because if they come to my page, they see I'm posting and I'm a mom of 3, I'm a normal girl. You see that we have a friend in common. If they say, hey, I saw I got a friend request, how do I know you? All I have to say is, oh my gosh, you went to school with one of my girlfriends, Erin. And I'm always looking to expand my group, meet other mom friends who are in the same season of life so that we can encourage each other through it. Not weird because, again, these are real people. They see me, I'm posting content. It's just a great way to expand. So that's how I did it for probably the first 2.5 years of our business, both Jessica and I, on Facebook. So if you love Facebook, if that's where you go in your spare time, really focus there. Now, since then, I have opened an Instagram and I have worked on building relationships through there. And I'm going to teach you how to do it on Instagram. I'll be honest, for me right now in my business, Instagram feels a little bit easier to expand your market. It's just easier for me. Again, I built my business through Facebook. So if that's where you are comfortable, stay there. Here's how I did it. I go to a person on Instagram, an account that I love. It can be a blogger. There's like different fashion bloggers, Austin local bloggers that I absolutely love their account, or it can even be a brand. There is a coffee shop local to the Austin area. It's called Summer Moon. We love it so much. We named our dog Summer Moon. I can go to that account and see who's following and engaging with them. So again, let's just say I went to one of my favorite local Austin bloggers. Love her account, love what she's doing. I go and see who's following her and who's engaging, who's commenting. I click on their profile and just take a quick scan. This is why I say Instagram is better, because when you go to Instagram, it's so nice. I can easily pop in and see, oh, okay, I can see all of your posts at one glance. I take a glance. Again, is this somebody that I would genuinely want to get to know? Okay. I look for women my age, usually moms. If it's a yes, then we do what I call the 3-2-1 method. That is, I like 3 different photos. I leave I leave a genuine comment on 2 photos. So again, like Jessica said, not just, oh, so cute. I'll actually leave a comment that's more than 4 words that would hopefully spark a conversation, or it's just a really genuinely nice comment that I would like to receive. And then if it's somebody, again, that I really want to get to know, I'll do 1 request to follow. Okay, so that's a 3-2-1. Like 3 photos, leave genuine comments on 2 photos, and if I really want to build that relationship with them, request to follow. What this does is now they've gotten 6 different notifications from myself, right? And you know, when you get a lot of notifications, your first instinct is like, oh, who's this person? And then usually what they do is come check out my profile. If I've been posting and I look like a normal person and not like a robot or some weird creeper on Instagram, usually they're like, oh, okay, and they'll accept my request to follow. Or hopefully they'll follow me back if they think I'm somebody worth following. So that's what I do there. Again, the 3-2-1 method doesn't take that long. I'll be honest, I do this throughout the day. So, okay, you ready to go TMI with me? We're all friends here, right? We're about to get real close. Sometimes I'll do it when I'm hiding in the bathroom from my kids, okay? I'll just 3-2-1 people. If I'm like, oh, she's super cute, I'll like 3 photos, leave genuine comments on 2, and request to follow, okay? Another pro tip, let me just show you, because I did not know this until way far into it. Let me just say, oh, look who I see here. Jessica Warren. Can you see that? Okay, so let's just say I love her. She's like, oh, how cute. We could totally be friends. She's a mom of 3. She looks to be about my age. Totally want to create a connection with her. So what I will do is if I will go to her photo, if you will see in this corner right here is a flag. I will flag it and it'll say save to a collection. So then I will just create a collection. You can add it by the little plus sign and just say new friends. That's it, new friends. And I'll save it to that collection. So this is a way to work smarter, not harder. Tomorrow, when I come to do my power hour and just how we spent 10 minutes being social on social media, I'm gonna go to this collection first. I'm gonna see, ooh, let me see my new friends, Jessica. Let's see if she posted anything or did any stories. And I'm gonna go engage with her. Because again, my job is to build that relationship, and then grow it from there. And then when the time feels right, I could invite her to a group or my business. But that's the way I do it. Saving them to a collection helps so much so that they don't get lost. Otherwise, if I do the 3-2-1 and I don't ever save them, it's like, oh, who was that I was wanting to talk to? I get lost. So that's a really quick way to do it. All right. I know I just talked a lot. So if you have questions, feel free to unmute yourself or put them in the chat box. But this, like I said, I have literally met some of my very best friends on social media. So just know that it's a really cool way to meet people, really engage and build genuine relationships, because at the end of the day, that's what we want to do, build genuine relationships and work with people that we could really connect with. So I'm going to give us about 5 minutes just to go expand your market, whether that be Facebook or Instagram, doesn't really matter. But let's go find our people.
So Erin, I see your question. Are you flagging photos of people who you've already sent a friend request?
Sorry.
Is that on, that's okay. Is that on Instagram or Facebook? On like Instagram, when you're saving to collections, they cannot see that. Is that what you mean?
Yes, when she was saying you flag their picture and
Yeah.
save it to a collection, can they see that you're doing that? Okay.
They cannot see that you're doing that. No, total stalker style. They can't see it.
Okay, and I'm sorry. I had a. I don't know if you already answered. Like, are these people that you've already requested a friend, already sent a friend request, and they're like one of your friends, or can you do that before they accept it? I don't know what my question is.
Well, if they're a
Are
private,
you?
if they're a private account, you won't be able to like see their stuff yet. So, but if they're a
Oh,
public account and you request to follow them, you'll immediately follow them right away, and you can flag it.
oh, right. Okay.
That makes sense. Usually, the
Gotcha.
people that I follow are public. Occasionally, there's like a private account where I'm like, oh, their bio looks like somebody I would want to connect with, or their little picture looks like, oh, she looks nice. I'll request to follow if they're private. The majority of the people that I 321 with are public, just so that I can like see what they're posting. Usually I can get a quick little view of like what their pictures look like. Does it look like we have anything in common? And if it does look like yes, then I will do the 321.
Okay.
Also, I can't see the chat, so sorry if you were asking a question. I can't see it on my end, so you can always unmute if you have a
Oh,
question.
that was it.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to dive in to the next piece, and this is inviting. So inviting is something that you have to do kind of this back work, this networking piece, and you've got to be posting content on social media in order for the inviting piece to work, because you can't just go out and invite people that you don't know or that you've never had a conversation with and not end up feeling kind of weird and icky about it. So first and foremost, before you're inviting, we're assuming that yes, you're networking, so you've got new people coming into your network that are able to see the content that you're posting. So you want to be posting content both on stories, on posts, on reels. There's so many options now on social media, so don't feel like you have to do all the things all the time. You don't have to do a new post every day and a new reel and 5 different stories. Don't feel like you have to do that, but you do have to show up on social media consistently, especially in stories right now. Stories is the most watched currently, and newly to Instagram Reels. That's where people spend a lot of their time. And think about where you spend a lot of your time on social media. If you find yourself watching a lot of stories, that's where your people are going to be as well. So you want to be showing up on there. And then next week, our entire call is about social media. So don't get overwhelmed by that piece, and do not get overwhelmed by needing to be perfect. All we want you to do is start showing up. Talk about what you're doing. Be genuine about what you're doing. Talk about the workouts, how you're feeling, whether you're sore, you're tired, you're hungry, you're feeling awesome, you're feeling that energy shift. Just genuinely talk about those things. It doesn't need to be perfect. Your photos don't need to be perfect. What you're saying doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be honest and real and consistent. What are you eating? What are you learning? How are you shifting your habits? What's a little bit about your normal day to day? Are you a work at home mom? Are you a stay at home mom? Do you work outside of the house? And you're, what kind of, let us in and sneak peek on why you're taking this journey, what's happening. Just your everyday stuff. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we want you to start trying to show up at least 5 story slides a day. So 5 15-second clips. They can be together, they can be spread throughout the day. And again, it doesn't need to be anything fancy. It doesn't need to be a workout video. Most important is you talking. They want to get to know you. Who are you? How do you speak? What's your body language? What's your energy? What's your personality? People just want to learn about you and your personality. So starting to get those things out there. But assuming that you're working on your social media content, you're working on those social media connections and conversations, then you're going to have plenty of people to invite to when you get to this section. For the first month, 2, 3 months, the people you're inviting can still come from your warm market. But beyond that, you're going to have to be working on these new people along the way so that you consistently have new people to invite to every day. So if you ever find yourself saying, I don't have anybody to invite, then it means you've got to spend more time in that expand market phase and that being social and social media phase, because it means you're not having enough conversations or you're not expanding and getting new eyes onto your feed, because social media is about being social, and that's part of what we do every day. When you are inviting, be very strategic and know what you're inviting to. So for today, it is Wednesday. We have a new day one starting on October 12th. So you could still be inviting to that group and using your new coach message that you got in your welcome email and just saying, hey, and send people a voicemail. Hey, I'm super excited. We're starting day one on Monday. I would love to have your feedback. This is my first challenge group to run as a coach, and I would really love to have you in there for support and to get your honest testimonial after going through it. Are you interested in doing this with me? That is what I would be saying if I was in your shoes right now. Being very honest, saying this is my first month as a coach. I'm super stoked. I would love to have you in it. I would love to have your honest feedback. Tell me what you think and I'll send you the options. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it, and don't send out a message that you wouldn't say to your very best friend or to your sister or to your mom or to your coworker. If it sounds scripted, it's going to come across as scripted and it's going to turn people off. So what I recommend, and I want you to do right now, is send at least one message to someone. Maybe you've already talked to them, maybe you haven't, maybe they're on your list, you haven't gotten them to them, but I want you to send it in a voice memo, because voice memos always come across more genuine because they can hear you. And the people that you're reaching out to right now are already people who know you. So there's even that one less barrier that you have to go through. So your challenge is right now is to voice memo and invite at least one person to the challenge group that we have starting on Monday that starts day one on the 12th. So you got 5 minutes, ready, set, go.
All right. Another thing I wanted to mention on inviting is I like to share sample workouts with a lot of people just to give them a taste. And I think I shared that in the group, but I can send my little flow of when people are like, yeah, I'd love to try a workout and what it looks like. And that's just a great way to get your foot in the door. The next part of our Power Hour flow is following up. So I think statistics show that most people come around and say yes between the 8th and 12th follow up. And I know the first time I heard that, I like cringed because I think it's natural for us to follow up once, maybe twice. And if we're super brave, we'll follow up a third time. And then we're like, oh, okay, I'm never going to ask them again because it's weird. But I will tell you from experience in this business, I have a lot of success in following up, sometimes to the point where it takes a full year for people to be like, yes, I'm ready. And one thing that helped for me in following up and just sending a message saying, hey, your first follow up, give it a couple days. Like, we don't need to hound people. If I send a message yesterday, I'm not going to immediately today at 8 a.m. be following up, because give people a minute. But usually I do go a couple of days between follow ups. And my first follow up message is something simple as like, hey, just checking to see if you got my last message. Didn't want you to think I forgot about you. If they asked for like, yeah, I'd love to do a sample workout. My next follow up in a couple days would be, since we have a group starting on Monday, I send a follow up message and just say, hey, just checking in to see if you are still interested in joining us on Monday. I'm getting everyone plugged in this Thursday with my meal plans and recipes, and I'm saving your spot. So just let me know either way. Usually, when I say I'm saving your spot, people will come back and be like, yes, I'm in. I totally forgot. Or, oh, I don't think this month is going to work. No worries. I would just tell them, no worries. I run a new group every month. So I'll follow up with you next month. Sound good? And then next month, when I get ready to open up my next group, I'll follow up and say, hey, I know last month wasn't a good month for you. No worries, but I would love to work together with you this month. We start on such and such date. Would you want to join us this month? That's it, simple. And again, following up just shows that you care and that you're invested in helping them feel good. Like I said, sometimes it has taken me up to a year of following up with people before they say yes. And the number one thing people say when I follow up is like, oh, thank you so much for following up with me. Especially when they get in my group, they start feeling better, they get results, and they're always like, oh, I don't know why I didn't join sooner. So I just want you to take the fear out of following up. You're not nagging people. You're not being that weird spammer. Following up truly shows that you care. So don't be afraid to follow up. And also, I think, like Jessica said, voice memos are great for this too. Sending a little quick message saying, hey, just want to follow up with you. I'm getting everybody plugged in, and I obviously thought of you. And let me know if you want to join us this month. Super simple. All they can say is, no, not this month. And then they come back around. And then the last thing I'm going to say, because again, I know sometimes it's scary, but let me just give you the analogy. You know how when you go to dinner, like my husband and I, before COVID, we like to have a weekly date night, and the waiter comes around and say, hey, would you like dessert? Would you like to see the dessert menu? And sometimes it's like, yeah, I'd love to see the dessert menu. We look at it, hopefully we order dessert, and then away we go. But sometimes it's like, no, I'm just really full right now, but no thanks. Does the waiter get offended because you said no to seeing the dessert menu? No, they keep it moving. But if I go back to that same restaurant next week, I would hope that the waiter comes around and asks to see the dessert menu. I wouldn't want him to be like, they said no last week. I'm not even going to offer. Forget it. I'm not even going to go to that table. I'll go to the one next door, right? No, I want him to keep asking me, because depending on the day, depending on what I ate, depending on what season I'm in, I might really want dessert. Okay, so I always think of it like that. Like, I'm going to detach myself from whether they say yes or no. Me following up is just coming to offer something great. If they want it this month, awesome, no worries. If not, I'll come back around next month, and away we go. Cool? All right, so let's spend just a few minutes. If I don't know if you have people to follow up with, hopefully you've started inviting those closest to you. If you have, and you're waiting to hear back, I would send a follow-up message today, and I would just tell them, hey, I'm getting everyone plugged into our group tomorrow, because tomorrow is Thursday, and that's when we open up our new group. We'll upload all the files, all the meal plans. We'll get everyone prepped and ready throughout the weekend to officially start day one on Monday. So this is a great time to follow up and say, hey, I'm getting everybody plugged in tomorrow. Were you still interested?
Okay, so we're going to wrap up this power hour. I'm going to explain the last piece and then we'll open it up for any questions that we have. So we like to end our power hours by engaging and adding value, kind of the same way that we started. But instead of dumping it out into social media, we want you to go into your challenge groups. Make sure that you're taking the time to show up in your challenge groups and comment on the post for the day, show your sweaty selfie, show what you're doing, comment on other people, other clients. Don't mind that airplane going over my house right now. Show up and for other people as well, whether they're your clients, they're other clients, show up and love on other people. And then make sure that you're checking in with those clients who have already signed up with you or who will be signing up with you maybe today and tomorrow and the weeks to come. Point being, don't ever forget the people who already said yes to you. We are not a company that exchanges products, meaning you've bought this great pin from me, and now I hope you enjoy your pin. Good day, sir. When you purchase a challenge pack, that is the beginning of your relationship. That is the beginning of the sale for you. And so it is still our job to make sure that they use the challenge pack and that they use the workouts and they understand the nutrition and that they start with baby steps and they kind of figure out where they are and that you go in and you check in on them and make sure that they feel like they're getting the customer service that they want out of it. But that's our job, is to always make sure that we are dumping value into the people who have already trusted us with their journey, whether that's coaching or that's our challenge group. So jumping into your coach pods, your client groups, and showing up essentially. And that's how we like to end each and every power hour. But for this sake of today, we're going to end here and then we'll close it out with any questions that you have, either about what we just did, this power hour, and I'll show you this business activity tracker again. Will you stop sharing the screen, Raquel, so that they can see it a little bit bigger? So again, this activity tracker can be found in the Team VIP units. We'll also send it to you, but basically, just running through it, this top section, number one, is being proof of the product's work. So you taking care of yourself, always number one, drinking your Shakeology, doing your workout. Section 2 and 3 is what we just went over, which is expanding your network, being social on social media, showing up in your content, engaging in your challenge groups, following up. That stuff is all right here for you to see. And then number 4 is personal development, which we talked about in last week's call. And our big primary goal is yourself, your journey, your mindset, number 1. So number 1 and number 4 on your business activity tracker. So these business activity trackers work in 1 week blocks. Our weeks go from Thursday being the first day of the week all the way to Wednesday. So today is Wednesday. It is the last day of the week for us. So wherever you are today on Wednesday, like I know Brandy, who I think will be watching the call, she signed up her first client and her husband last week. So tomorrow morning, she will wake up as an Emerald coach because today she has added 2 active coaches and our week rolls over Wednesday night. So wherever you are Wednesday night is what you will wake up as Thursday morning. Any sales that you have, you sold a challenge pack, you sold a bod, you sold Energize, anything that you sell up through Wednesday night will show up in your earnings in your online office tomorrow morning. So that is the beginning of your work week. And we get paid Thursday. So every Thursday is payday. So let's say today I had somebody purchase a challenge pack this morning. That challenge pack, the income will reflect tomorrow in earnings and it will hit my bank account the following Thursday. So it gives a week to make any corrections that need to be made. So you will see what you will get paid Thursday morning, and it will actually hit your bank account the week beyond that. So our business activity tracker runs the same way. It runs Thursday to Wednesday, and the front part has Monday through Thursday where you can check off and keep yourself accountable. And the back part just has note section where you can write people's names when you talk to them, where you are in the conversation. It's a good place to just start writing people down so that you don't lose them, and you can kind of track who you followed up with, highlight who signed up, kind of where they are in the process. So you can print this activity tracker. This is printed in color. I do not recommend printing it in color because it is $1 million to do so, but you can just take this to Kinko's, FedEx, anywhere, ask them to print 52 weeks, print it in black and white. You can bind it, and it makes it just a really nice, organized way to get your business rolling. You don't have to do it this way. You don't have to track this way, but it's something that's on paper and really simple to use, especially whenever you get started. Okay. In the chat.
Michelle, so I just put some examples in there in the beginning, reaching out. I know it can feel weird, and I'll tell you, we definitely did what I like to call verbal vomiting at the beginning, where we just like, we're too excited. So I gave you some just example messages. I think that's sometimes why voice memos do well, or I always think whenever I'm writing it, I read it back to myself and say, would I say this to my best friend? And if not, if it's like, it feels weird, then I'm like, let me edit it out. So those are some examples. One great way that's like super low key, it's that last one. If you go into our team VIP page, we have a ton of transformation pics. Or you could even Google Beachbody transformation pics. But if you wanted to get some like people from our actual team, a great one is be like, hey, I just signed up to do this muscle burns fat program because look at these results. Send a transformation photo. I'm a little bit nervous, but like, do you want to do it together? Because that's something I would literally say to like my best friend, be like, okay, Corona has been rough and I've been eating all the things. Like, do you want to do this program together? Like, look at this girl's results. And I try to find someone who looks like us, and then kind of send that because that feels more genuine to me. Does that help?
Yeah, definitely does. I feel
Yeah.
just like,
So in case you're watching the recording and I don't know if you can see the chat on the recording, but
no.
it's just talking about, I just had a question about, y'all make outreach seem so smooth. Please say it's not always the case. Maybe I'm getting my head, but I'm struggling with not sounding too salesy, especially with friends and family. And I know that is a common thought. So in case you can't see the chat on recording, that's what we're talking about with these invites, just being super genuine and just speaking honestly, just speaking the way that you would speak to anyone else. Like for me, when I started, I literally went to, like, my cousin was the first person I signed up, and I think I've told y'all that. And I literally just said, hey, I'm doing this. I've never done it, but I'm super excited. I need you to do it with me. Here's what we're doing, and here's how it's going to work. And literally, I was that blunt because I'm just like, this is just what's happening. Like, and I need you to help me because I need support and I don't know what I'm doing. And that's exactly what I said to everybody I signed up my first several months, because I didn't know what I was doing, but I was excited and I needed to get my feet wet. And just being that authentic, don't go to people who you already have a very natural relationship with and then make it feel weird, because then it's like, I'm sorry, what are you doing? Just be honest and it'll roll a lot smoother.
And then I would say too, just know that we are here for you in that message pod. So let's just say you are texting or messaging people and you're like, you get stuck with knowing what to say. Just take a screenshot and we'd be more than happy to be like, why don't you say it like this? Because sometimes getting other eyes on it helps too. Yeah.
thank you.
Any other questions?
Any other questions? Shadow? Jinx, I owe you a Coke.
All right. Well, I will post this recording in the message pod with a picture of that Power Hour flow. But if y'all have any questions, y'all know you can find us at any time in there. And then we will see you for another training next Wednesday, where we'll be talking all things social media. So get excited about that. I think that's my favorite training call that we do when we talk about social media. So we will see you next week. Same time, same place. Bye, guys.